What's going on YouTube? It's the Filthy Casual, back with another video, and today we're looking at Warhammer Chaosbane and the beta. Basically, the question that I want to answer for you, is this a good game? Should you be downloading the beta? Is it something that you want to play? Now, the bad news straight out the gate is it's a closed beta. You have to pre-order the game to get access. So there's 3 versions of the game: the regular, the deluxe, and the enhanced, which comes with the season pass. I've gone for the enhanced one because I'm an idiot and I just, the bundles always seem to get me. But you can just go for the standard game and that'll get you access to the beta. I'm playing on the Xbox One, Xbox One X, so you have to download the game, which is very small, only about 800 megabytes, because it's just obviously a placeholder, and then you have to go and specifically download the beta after that, and that'll give you access. So in the background I've got about 12-13 minutes worth of footage. I went for the Elf Mage class, which is, I suppose, quite similar to the Wizard from Diablo 3, and we'll have some gameplay in the background. Now, if you like D3, I think you're going to like this game. I was only supposed to play this for about, 20 minutes, half an hour, because I also downloaded Diablo onto my desktop last night, so I was planning on having a bit of nostalgia and playing through a bit of that. I thought, well, I've downloaded this Chaosbane Beta as well, so I'll give it half an hour, see how I like it. And 2 hours later, I had, that was it, time's up, time to go to bed. Couldn't put it down, very absorbing. Combat is very fast, very fluid. It's possibly even a little bit more arcadey than Diablo 3, and I think maybe that's a good thing. A lot of the kind of mechanics in D3 that I like lots of monsters, very powerful explosions, powerful abilities, they're there, and they kind of double down on that. So the nutshell version of this, I think, is if you like Diablo 3, you're going to like this game. And if you don't, if the kind of cheesiness of Diablo 3 or the maybe lack of depth peeves you, then maybe it's going to be a game that you're going to want to wait and see on full release how it pans out. But there are some really interesting bits in here, so yeah, I just thought we'll have a little bit of a chat about it. So I've played for about 2 hours, got to level 14. The max that you can get in the beta is 20. I will do some more in-depth videos later, but we're just having a look at the mage at the moment now. You've got a generator skill, which is the kind of fireballs that I'm firing out. You've got a fire breathing skill, which is that's really powerful. It's a close range ability, and then every so often you'll be able to do a teleport like that, and it's quite cool. It's like Doctor Strange. A little wormhole appears, and your mage pops out of it. So that's really cool looking. There seems to be quite a lot of enemies on the levels. The combat's very fluid, it's very fast, it feels really good, and pretty much straight out the gate from level 1 there's plenty of enemies to kill. Every time you level up you get access to a new skill, so your power does grow quite quickly, and you do feel like a bit of a badass very, very quickly in the game. And I think that's something that Diablo 3 does quite well. It's quite welcoming to new players, it's quite simplistic in some respects, and this definitely feels like that as well. After about 6 or 7 levels you've got your full bar, full 6 abilities, and you can use them. Now the ability customization is quite interesting because it runs on skill points, and what that means is you start off with, say, 27 skill points, and it's a bit like almost like a Call of Duty build. You can allocate those skill points to various things. So I've just killed, I think, like a champion pack effectively there, like a special enemy, and that's dropped a rare item. So that's what I'm doing, I'm equipping that at the moment. Now there's 3 types of items whilst we're in the inventory scheme. You've got uncommon, which is like your whites, common, which is your blues, and then rares, which are your yellows. Haven't found anything above rare. I don't know if there's like a legendary system. I've heard there's going to be sets, so I would assume that there is. And the loot seems good. It seems, again, very similar to D3. It drops fairly sporadically, but enough for you to pick it up and look through your upgrades. Back like at D3 when it initially came out, there's something called loot quality, which is a stat that can roll on the gear, and you can increase your loot quality. So that's a bit like Magic Find, and I quite liked that from D3 when that first came out. It's a bit sad when that went, because you always got the choice of do I want DPS or do I want Magic Find. So that's interesting. The mage, as I say, yeah, you feel really strong really quickly. You can absolutely blast the enemies. Now I think I was chatting about the skill points before I got sidetracked by the inventory. So skill points, you get say 27 when you start, and as you level up, this total number increases. Now your skills, you've got kind of generators, which are generally free, so then they don't cost any skill points to equip, they just take a place on your bar. You've got spenders, which normally take about 5 skill points, so this is the skills that I'm having a little bit of a look at now, and just changing them around. And you can then unlock upgradables, so you might, let's say this arcane orb looking skill, this kind of ball that I'm firing about. Now really interesting, you can control this, so I'm moving that with the right analog stick, so you fire it off and then you can move it around the stick, so it's completely controllable, which is really cool mechanic. It's really good. So there you go, I'm just running away using the orb, so I'm trying to like move the character with the left stick and using the orb with the right stick to blast them. So that's quite an interesting mechanic, because it means you can go hide around the corner, you can still DPS. What you can do is, as you level through the game and your character level increases, you get access to new skills, and to, let's say, go to the next level of the orb, instead of it being 5 skill points, it's 10. So if I want to equip it, I've got to either unequip some other skills or pick really weak ones. So at the start of the video I only had 5 skills in the bar, and that was because I'd juiced up, I think, the knockback explosion skill, so just having a little bit of a play around with that. So I think that potentially opens up quite a lot of build diversity, because you can take off skills and have skill points. You can put a lot of juice into like one skill potentially, and sacrifice some others. So that's pretty cool. You've got passive abilities like Diablo again. You really can see that they have taken a lot of inspiration from it. They cost skill points as well. So obviously again, it's quite this nice choice. You get a lot of choice. Do I want to go for these skills? Do I want to go for the passives? Do I want to have everything at low level? Do I want to have things at high level? So I think that could be really interesting dynamic when the game comes out for full. One of the other cool mechanics in the game is that some of the enemies will actually combine. The little nurgling creatures that are quite small, like running up the ramp there behind me. If you get enough of them in one area, they'll actually combine, they'll climb on top of each other and make kind of like a rolling ball of nurglings. So that's quite interesting, dynamic enemies and that sort of stuff. Now you can see the fiery ball just above the wings on the bottom left, so above the health and above the mana. That is essentially like your special ability. You collect these little orbs that drop on the ground. When it gets full, you can enter your kind of like super damage mode. Now I'm going to save it because I've got this little mini boss coming up, so I'm going to activate it in yeah, there we go, it's just activated it. So you get these massive like sword spinning things. Again, these are controllable, so once you fire one out you can use your analog stick to move it around. The way it works with multiple projectiles, and the same for the orb earlier, if once you fire 2 or 3 out, it's the last one you fired is the one you can move around with your stick. So again, that's an interesting concept. It's like entering Wrath of the Berserker or Archon, I suppose, for the for Barbarian or Wizard, for example, on D3. So again, it's going to be quite tactical. When do you use it? How often do you get these orbs to fill it up? And again, I presume that skill you'll be able to swap it out later and upgrade it. Now looking at the skills and the skill tree, there are absolutely loads of skills, lots that can be upgraded, for extra skill points. You've got something that I've just unlocked, the very last thing I did before I came off last night, which is the God skill tree. And that looks like a really super powerful ability, but on quite a long cooldown. And all these little gem fragment things that I'm picking up now, you use them to progress with the tree. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not the most hardcore player. My channel is called Filthy Casual. I am a casual gamer, but this was really easy to pick up. There's nothing like Diablo 3. Very much holds your hand. When you pick up items, it'll when you go to the inventory screen, it'll highlight exactly, is this an upgrade, is it not, what's changing with, green arrows for, yeah, you're making something positive happen, and red for, no, hang on, you're going to cock your character up by taking this off. So that's nice. Wide range of stats, armor piercing, critical hit chance, extra damage, loot quality, as I said earlier, cooldown reduction, speed, all the kind of typical ARPG stats. So really, it just does seem like an awful lot of fun. and as I say, I was only supposed to play for half an hour, and I just couldn't put it down. It was really good, so very excited for the game to come out. One downside, the loading screens are quite long. You know, it is, I don't know, 30 seconds or so to get from one area to the next, maybe a little bit longer. Hopefully that will improve on release. It's not too bad, but you know, it's not the best thing in the world to be sat looking at menus. But yeah, basically I'd say if you do like D3, this is a good game. You know, it is fun. I would pre-order it for the beta. Now I don't know whether they're going to do an open access beta. If I was the developer, I definitely would, because I think the more people that you can get this game, get it into their hands, they will think it's good, and they will like it and they will play it. Obviously it's honeymoon phase. I've only played for 2 hours. I've only played one of the classes, so it's not like quite an in-depth thing. This is just a complete initial impressions. Is this fun? Am I glad that I pre-ordered the game and downloaded the beta? Well, at the moment, yes. It looks like there's quite a lot of content. You know, you can have a full campaign. It looks like there's going to be almost like an adventure mode. You know, relic hunting, boss mode. There's going to be leaderboards in the game. There's going to be some kind of competitive element. You know, so it does look kind of like Warhammer Diablo, essentially. Warhammer D3, and I know that's kind of how Warhammer Inquisitor was pitched, and that came out last summer. I played that quite a lot, and that wasn't fun. I was just upgraded to the fireball here, so this is me whizzing the fireball around with the secondary second analog stick. Yeah, so this is fun. It does feel very like Diablo 3. So it's certainly something I'm going to be playing and I'm going to make a few videos on. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any more questions about the beta, stick them in the comments. I will gladly answer them. I'm hoping to get a bit more time to play over the weekend. The beta runs, I think, for another 5 or 6 days, so I want to get both classes to 20, and I want to kind of finish the beta as much as I can. But as I say, ask me anything you want. I'll get back to you when I can, and hopefully I'll be uploading some more videos. So let me know in the comments. Are you excited for this game? Is it something you're going to check it out? Have you done so already? Do you like it? So that'll do. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.